Set on a prison island where zombies roam free and high-tier supplies are guarded by mechs in the bunkers left behind by Tech 1 forces, this is the game that is setting the standard for what an open-world survival game should be. Ladies and gentlemen, it's UncleSamsDevil. Let's get into this. Scum is an early access survival game that released at the end of August of 2018, so it has been in development for quite a long time. For most of that time, I would even say up until late 2020, there wasn't much to keep people around. The game suffered from problems like lack of content, poor optimization, and updates that really just weren't all that exciting. Fast forward to today, and a vision has come together into what I would argue is a genre-defining game. Now, Scum is still in early access, but the sheer amount of features it offers already dwarfs that of its competition, and when you size it up against the genre's competing games from an objective standpoint, Scum wins every single time. Just a few short months ago, Gamepires, the dev team behind Scum, released patch 0.5 as one of the biggest feature updates I have ever seen for a game like this, and it was followed by an explosion in the player base. The already massive map was expanded while also adding around 20 or so new points of interest, and there was an enormous and impressive graphics overhaul that included the addition of revamped, realistic weather cycles and volumetric clouds. This was already mind-blowing to me, and it made Scum go from one of those games that looked good to one that I look at now and I really just want to launch it and experience the beautiful world it offers. But Scum isn't just a pretty game that I want to start up and play for 30 minutes until I get bored. It has a fleshed out, although still in development, character creation system and enough content that it caters to whatever playstyle you're interested in. To add to that, patch 0.5 introduced several important features, such as numerous types of both saltwater and freshwater fish, including massive sharks that can definitely give you a bad day, all kinds of fishing gear, boat and raft building, base building improvements, and much more. Not only has all this content been added, but the game runs smoother than ever before. My favorite thing about Scum is the attention to detail. Unfortunately, that is something that most games in the open world PvPvE survival genre lack, so this is where Scum really goes against the grain. You don't just find boats or build rafts. There are different boats that can be found at different points of interest, and both small or big rafts can be built depending on the amount of supplies you've gathered. There are also different methods of movement for boats, including sails, motors, and even paddles. Just as you can push start a car with a bad battery, you can paddle a motorboat that has run out of gas. Fishing isn't as simple as crafting a rod and pulling a fish out of the water. There are different kinds of reels, lines, hooks, and even bait. Executing the activity of fishing also involves its own mini-game where you watch the floater until it goes underwater and then you manually reel in the fish. It is very important to understand what your fishing gear does, as everything isn't a one-size-fits-all. The same can be said about base building, as the game offers many different options for how or where to build a base and where you can obtain the supplies to do so. The intuitive inventory system in this game allows for extensive customization and easy maneuverability of everything a player holds, including weapons, attachments, clothing, gear, and supplies. In most aspects of Scum, the developers managed to strike a balance between extremely in-depth, detailed mechanics and still making sure that the game isn't tedious. To exemplify this, the movement system puts an insane amount of control into the hands of the player by allowing precise control of how fast they walk or run, how fast they recover stamina, and even the height of their crouch. And it all feels extremely smooth to execute. This amount of detail also carries over into the gunplay, as guns are not just inanimate objects that put rounds down range. They are tools affected by their environment and amount of use. Not maintaining them properly can lead to malfunctions that put your life in danger, as the devs have implemented a system covering the malfunctions that can occur with weapons such as bad rounds, stovepipes, failure to cycle, and double feed. If you happen to be shooting and things do go sideways, understanding what occurred and selecting the proper malfunction from the pop-up menu will manually fix the issue. You also have the ability to control things that are vitally important to immersion in shooters, such as checking and changing firing modes and checking magazines, and there are actually high quality, smooth animations for executing all of these actions. One of my favorite things about Scum, besides the immersive gameplay, is that it's being developed by a team with a sense of humor. If you've played the game, you already know what I'm talking about, and if you're considering hopping into Scum, you'll soon find out. These devs can take a joke and even dish out some of their own. They take criticism in stride, and they are very, very passionate about what they're doing. Open world survival games certainly aren't for everyone, but if you're looking to get into one, Scum is without a doubt the best one out there in my opinion. With it being on sale for $21 until July 8th, there is no better time to jump in. Before I end the video, I want to say we have started up a server on Scum. Right now it's a 10 slot, but as soon as enough players join in to fill it up, we will expand the player count. I want to have a place where people can join into a server with active admins so we can reduce griefing and hackers and just allow people to have the best experience Scum can offer. If you're not already, please make sure you drop a sub and come join the Discord. Ladies and gentlemen, it's UncleSamsDevil. I'll see you in the next one.